Hello, 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 hello. This is HQ on the Wives and Murder channel. I forgot one thing. That was my intro music, but that's okay. This is the week that we're doing the soft openings, where it's just me and you on the Murder and Wives channel, right? Introducing the channel is going to be a true crime. It's going to change into a true crime show in which we will be highlighting uh, interviews, interrogations, and murders and all kinds of crime. We will be doing that related to women and wives. Okay. So this is just the first week in which I will be filming with only the Wives and Wounds channel. Now today, just to get used to it, I got to figure out some opening music for you guys. Give you the show that you deserve. Today is the show related to a young man who recently murked another young man. So we're going to get into that right now while we have a young man who's unaliving other people and he's related to a cop. See, just because you're a cop doesn't mean your child is not a danger. Okay? It doesn't mean your child is not a danger. That's what a lot of people don't think. Oh, okay, you're related to a cop and you won't do X, Y, and Z. Oh, well, you could be related to a cop and be dangerous. And apparently this child is very much dangerous because he murked another person. And maybe he didn't mean to do it. Maybe he did. We don't know. But let's get into the video.
Pat him down. And then you sit with us?
A murder suspect is arrested in broad daylight, accused in the connection to the death of a 13-year-old boy.
Open!
But police say he's not the one accused of pulling the trigger.
Here's the car. Here's my car. Here's the stop sign, the red light. I stop barely. He jumps out as I'm stopping to turn or whatever, and he starts shooting.
We're breaking down the details as police suggest the murder was random. Plus, we have this shocking update of the accused killer. Thanks for joining us on Law and Crime. I'm Elizabeth Milner. Last August, a 13-year-old boy was riding in the car with another teen when bullets rang out from a random car. Two men were arrested, a 22-year-old and a 21-year-old, who just so happened to be the son of a special agent in the FBI.
You're under arrest and not free to leave. Exit the front doors, your hands up and empty, and follow the commands given to you by the officers coming to come.
As I was stating, just because you're a police person, a law enforcement person, ICE person, a Homeland Security person, doesn't mean that your children aren't degenerate or your children aren't criminally minded. People think because you come from a specific home that you won't do dangerous activities. He's in a car with a gun doing dangerous activities. Hey, hello, Sharada Warles. Hello. Welcome to the channel. Welcome. So so this is a cop's son doing dangerous things.
Contact with. If you comply, we can guarantee your safety.
Residents in a seemingly quiet neighborhood in Albuquerque were probably in for a shock when tactical officers showed up to their neighborhood at 9:30 in the morning.
Attention, Michael Flores. Sergeant 3.
Just imagine coming from a rich house, a rich neighborhood, or a decent neighborhood, I'm assuming, and they're coming for your kid. Wow, and you're a police officer. You're a Homeland Security officer. They're coming for your kid for murder.
3 Pearl Drive Northeast. This is the Albuquerque Police Department.
Yeah, this is the Albuquerque Police Department. Keep your hands up and walk towards me.
Here's a good time to give you some background on how this early morning arrest came to be. In August of 2024, 13-year-old Michael Tubb was riding as a passenger in a car driven by a 17-year-old girl. Then all of a sudden, bullets were flying into their car. Both the teen driver and 13-year-old Michael were shot. The girl was rushed to the hospital, but Michael didn't survive the shooting, and he died at the scene. Who would target two young teenagers in what appeared to...
Y'all show very much grace, okay? This is a new channel that we're starting. We're just getting used to, police content, and we're going to start to do, interrogations, whether they're international or national. And this is just a week in which I'm trying to figure out our audience, what our audience is, what our audience likes. So leave me some comments and things like that. So
to be like a random attack or a drive-by. The detectives had to work backwards, first by identifying the car where the bullets came from. That car was specific too. It was a specific Lexus model. Investigators learned the following month that somebody purchased that exact same car on Facebook, and that the buyer of the car was allegedly 22-year-old Michael Flores. So they went to arrest him on October 3rd, a few weeks after Michael Tubbs' murder.
Hey, Ray, Alan. Here we go. Whatever the fuck you are. All right, here we go. Oh, you go up first, come on. This one, right? Yep.
that's great. Look at the nice cars in the driveway, the nice neighborhood. Look at all of that. And somebody coming for you. So he don't own no house like that. That boy don't own no house like that. So he living with his mama and daddy. He 22, 21 years old. He living at home. They pulling up in your driveway coming to get your kid. Because your kid don't know how to go out and not murk folks.
Announcements. You push that back. Alex. Hey, it's Michael Flores, right? Yep.
Attention, Michael Flores, side of 303 Pearl Avenue, Pearl Drive Northeast. This is the Albuquerque Police Department SWAT team. You are under arrest and not free to leave. Exit the front doors or hands up and empty and follow the commands given to you by the officers you come into contact with. If you comply, we can guarantee your safety. If you do not comply, force will be used against you.
See, this is when you shit your pants. But then this is when you decide you freeze. You freeze because you already know what you did. You already know what they doing. You already know why they're there. So you freeze and you don't know. Because why? All of us have the instinct to protect ourselves. Humans have the instinct to protect themselves. And he knows he's not particularly white. He's brown-skinned, for one. Two, he knows he's involved in some kind of nefarious activity. Three, he don't know whether they're going to shoot him when he comes out of that house. Four, he knows that he has to protect himself. The instinct to run is so deep.
Attention, Michael Flores, side of 303 Pearl Drive Northeast. This is the Albuquerque Police Department.
Hands down, Albuquerque Police Department. Keep your hands up and walk towards me. Keep your hands up.
I mean, it takes a lot of grit to walk out of the house with your hands up, knowing they're taking you to jail. And you may never leave that jail. It takes a lot of grit.
Walk towards me.
The boss, that's CNT over here. Trying to be a thin.
I'm going to bring it all the way back to you. Keep walking. Turn around, walk back this way. Walk backwards, walk backwards. Keep over here.
Where's the guy? It's a chick that came out. A chick that came out. Who else was there? A chick that came out.
Attention, Michael Flores, inside of 303 Pearl Drive Northeast. This is the Albuquerque Police Department SWAT team.
Right.
You're under arrest and not free to leave. Exit the front door with your hands up and empty. Follow the commands given to you by officers you come into contact with.
That's
If you
wild.
comply, we can guarantee your safety. If you do not comply, force will be used against you.
Keep walking. Keep walking. Keep walking. Keep walking. Just to your left. Walk around to me. Everything's gonna focus stickers.
Why did he make her walk to the left? What was going on with that?
Yeah, everything's gonna poke you, stick me. No weapons, nothing. Face the vehicle. You everything in your waistband. What is this? Sorry, I can't see him walking out the door. Keep your hands up. Get back.
Damn, look like a bunch of kids that come out the door. Bunch of kids.
Spread the feet. Spread the feet.
They all Hispanic. You know, they have Hispanic heritage, ethnicity or whatever. Okay.
Who else is inside the house? You're gonna be placing handcuffs. Hands behind your back. You're gonna be placing handcuffs and escort back into the handcuffs, okay? Once you get back there, you're gonna make contact with two detectives, all right?
Contact.
I got hands. I got hands. I'll tell you what's wrong. Keep your hands up.
The next little bit of the body cam is redacted, but you can see Michael Flores eventually coming out of the home with guns pointed at him and the officer's canine barking at him too.
Go ahead and take him first. After you pat him down. And then, Rito, can you sit with her?
Sometimes I'm riding along with my boy. All of a sudden, my boy got to prove that he got a pair of nuts. He feel like he got to prove that he has a pair of nuts. And he takes out a gun and he starts spraying. Just randomly, okay? Because it's funny. See people dodge to the ground. People dodge to the ground. People scramble for their life. It's funny, right? But all of a sudden, the next day, I hear somebody got killed. But my boy was spraying. We were having fun. We was laughing. All of a sudden, that shit ain't funny. They come to your door. They doing this. Interrupting your family. What you got going? How do you come out of this? How do you explain it? I was just riding with my boy, Ma.
Then can you actually escort her back around here?
Anyone else?
Put your hand up real quick.
Not that I know. No.
Nothing you know of?
No, that's cool.
I got him. Still go in his pocket. Walk this way.
Yeah, it's over here.
What's up?
What's over here?
Detectives will be there to talk to you. Anyone else inside?
No.
What about your dog?
No.
No dogs? I'm gonna hop up right here. Keep walking. Keep walking.
Right. So you got to get in there and decide what you gonna say, your boy or you. Is it gonna be your boy or you? And a lot of people decide, I'm just gonna take the fall. But see, this fall is murder. This fall ain't no regular fall. This is a murder. Your boy pulled out the gun, and your boy started shooting. Bang bang, bang bang. I'm sorry, not shoot. Bang bang.
Hey, here it goes when I call you. All this stuff's in his pockets, including the.
Even though Michael was detained, the officer still needed to enter the home just in case someone else was in there.
There's no announcements. We have
How do you want me to car?
Any other occupants
How do you want
inside
me
of
to take the car?
303 Pearl Drive Northeast. This is the Albuquerque Police Department SWAT team. We have a search warrant for the residents. You need to step out with your hands up.
It's too dark, dude.
Looks like front's clear. I
I
can't
can't
tell.
tell the back.
I said some of them guns look fake as hell, but I know they're not.
Too dark.
One second. That's good.
Good.
That's good. 1 second.
Please hit that like
Let's go on
button.
that one.
Hit that like button. This is the week. This is the week of the Wives and Murder channel, where we are getting used to putting content up. This is our first week putting content up to this. This channel normally used to have wives information. You have to go over and flip over to the HQ Reacts channel, which is where all the content is and more, thousands of more videos over there, what this channel used to be.
There you go.
Front looks clear. Can't see rear.
Take long. I'm gonna take the house. Rumble. 1 second, I'm still working this.
Almost had it. Good God, it's in there. There we go. Right technique for the job. Locked.
I don't know why this reminds me of Las Vegas or Nevada or something like that, because it has that Mediterranean or Mexican, some weird feel.
Open!
From that point on, the rest of the body cam is redacted. It's unclear everything officers found inside the home, but we do know no one else was there. On December 4th of that same year, investigators spoke with Michael Flores once again. And by this point, he's been in jail for weeks, charged with murder. But investigators learned Michael was allegedly driving the car with the accused shooter inside. That accused shooter was 21-year-old Thomas Acey, the son of FBI agent Brian Acey. How did Michael Flores and Thomas Acey meet? Well, Michael told detectives they met while he was selling him drugs.
I sold cocaine to him and a lot of my friends and friends of their friends. And so he was a friend of a friend who I just happened to be with downtown.
And if you
Okay.
Conversation, it's fine.
Okay.
Wow.
So he runs into somebody when we're down there, like when we're walking back to the car to leave or whatever. This person, he told me about this person before, but I didn't know it was that person at the time or whatever. He tells me this person shot up his car and robbed him at a party earlier on that year.
Mm.
And so he tells me that or whatever. And I tell him I don't want nothing a part of none of that. We're going home, whatever.
I hate when kids these days say whatever. Whatever, whatever, whatever. It's not whatever.
He tells me just loop around. I want to see what car he gets in, or whatever. I loop around. He says he got in this car. He said loop around again and follow that car. And what's it called? I did. I followed it maybe 5 or 10 minutes up the road, like towards UNM. And then because he wanted me to, he wanted to just know where he lived, because he promised me. He told me I'm not gonna do nothing. I know that, like, I don't want to put you in any situation or anything. I just want to know where this guy lives or whatever. And so I follow that car, and then when he finds out that it's not the guy or whatever, for whatever reason, he's like, that isn't the car. I don't think that's the car or whatever. And I tell him, all right, let's go home. And he gets mad at me at this point. He points the gun at me at this point, and he tells me, go back downtown. Like, stop being a or whatever. Because like I already wanted to go home like 2 or 3 times at this point. I didn't want any part of this or whatever. And so I go downtown. He says, that's the car right there. And it was that car. And that car happened to be right there, like a block or 2 where we seen that guy or whatever. Okay. That guy is he's like probably 6'1" or 6'2". He's has an Edgar haircut. That guy that he had a few words with. And keep in mind, like they didn't yell at each other or nothing. I didn't know that this was that guy. They had a few words. I didn't hear what they said. And then we left. And so,
do you know that guy's name?
I don't know that guy's name.
Okay.
That was the only time I ever seen him too.
Okay.
If you were to show me a picture of him, I'd be able to tell you that's him though.
Okay.
But where was I?
So you said that he pointed a gun at you and told you to go back downtown, and then identified a car that was just a couple blocks from where you guys saw him originally. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And he said, that's the car right there. That's the car right there. And I follow it for like 2 minutes around there. And I'm like, this, I'm taking us home or whatever. I go from following it and I get into the turning lane to what's it called? To turn to get out of there. Cause I was going to pass him. I was like, that. I don't trust him. I was like, if he shoots me, he shoots me. I was like, we're going home. So the car's right here. I'm behind it. I go from there to passing it. I make a stop, but not a complete stop, just to look both ways so I don't turn and, a car sideswipes me or something. Sure. Within that time period, he jumps out of the car and starts shooting within like a second, like a 1 to 2 second, like stop. You know what I mean? I don't know if you know what I mean by that, but I didn't stop the car completely. So he jumps out as it's moving a little bit and starts shooting or whatever. And at this point, I'm like, what the I froze. My ears are all ringing. There's glass all over me and shit. And he
Yeah, but my thing is this. You knew he was on some ish, right? So if you knew he was on some ish and you saw the car and he jumped out, why didn't you take off? Why, as soon as he jumped out to start to spray another car, why didn't you try to speed off and get the hell on out of there and leave him there to spray the car? Why did you stay there and get him into your car? Or did you do that? We don't know. You ain't said. But it seems like you didn't take off. You froze and you couldn't do anything. What did you do in that instance? That he was sort of your boy, but he wasn't your boy, but he was sort of your boy. So what do you do?
Took my head off too. I found out later that night. There's a bullet graze above the car that went. So my headrest is right here. My head's right here. There's a bullet graze that right here in the car on top of it, and he shattered the sunroof. Okay, that's what it was.
As for the car allegedly used in the shooting, Michael Flores admitted he bought the car off of Facebook Marketplace for $10,000 using the money he made dealing coke. Michael thought he and Thomas were in the clear until, according to Michael, Thomas said the only thing tying them to the murder was the car.
I convinced everybody in my life that I was innocent, that I wasn't there, and this is just a coincidence.
So when you say this too, for why you removed that, what do you mean?
I mean, like that night, because he told me the only way they could tie us to this whole thing or whatever is because of the car. So it was his idea to modify it.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, see, this is what, well, I guess it's normal behavior. People always want to get along. People always want to get along or comply, because a lot of people are just sheep, right? A lot of people are just sheep, and they want to get along. They want to comply with people. They want to say, oh, okay, that's my boy who did the X, Y, and Z. And he was cool with his boy doing what he was doing, X, Y, and Z, until he found out there was more to that shooting. So it was more to that shooting. And so that young man was like, okay, I ain't finna do all this. So here they are. They are here with a murder charge.
Shortly after this happened, we had put out a Crime Stoppers tip with some pictures of that Lexus. Did you see that Crime Stoppers bulletin?
No.
Okay. A lot of your search history and stuff that we got out of your phone was in reference to like some modifications that you looked like you were maybe planning on making to the car, as far as like a front grille and some rims, stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, I wanted to keep that car. Yeah.
Yeah. In all those searches, you searched for a 2015 Lexus. When you listed it on Facebook, you listed it as a 2014. Was there a reason behind that?
Reason behind 14. Yeah, it would be to that night.
Okay. Just as
I didn't understand this.
No, I'm sorry. So like I guess what I'm asking is you knew that the car was a 2015. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. And did you intentionally post it on Facebook Marketplace as a 2014?
Yeah.
Okay. And was that to try to avoid, I guess, me or us finding you in the car?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thomas's name has been redacted from the interrogation, but you can kind of fill in the blanks. A little bit later into the interrogation, detectives show Michael a photo, seemingly of Thomas, posed up with the same weapon allegedly used to kill 13-year-old Michael Tubb.
Who you know this person as?
That's him.
Okay. The fire.
Yeah, but the one person who committed them, the one person who shot and did the shooting, is not there to defend themselves nor admit or anything else. So does that mean that they're going to put the charges for murder and whatnot on this young man? Does that happen? Since your accomplice, because they really can't tell. They don't know whether he's the one who pulled the trigger or not. You see what I'm saying? He could be lying, saying, "Oh, he's the one who did X, Y, and Z," when really it would have been him. We don't know. But at this point, I guess they will find out because the other guy is not dead.
Firearm that he's holding in that picture, is that the same firearm, or does it look like the same firearm?
It looks like it. Yeah, it does.
Okay. And I mean, you're more than welcome to keep looking at it if you want to. But I just want to ask you kind of a little bit about him and that firearm. When you guys left that evening, how did he get to? You said you guys met up at the Shoshone address.
Yeah.
How did he get there?
He drove that car that had a bunch of bullet holes in it from whenever he got robbed and had his car shot up at that party.
Okay.
Right.
Do you know what kind of car that is?
It's a white Genesis.
Okay.
It's I think a 2014 or 2013. I don't know.
Okay.
But it's around those years.
Okay. And I just kind of want to, where was he when you guys were in the car downtown? Was he seated in the front seat or in the back seat? Where was he seated?
The passenger seat.
The front passenger?
Yeah.
Okay. And where was that that firearm, that gun that I just showed you, or the one that looked like the one in that picture that I just showed you?
I don't remember that. I believe it was just where his feet were, like in the, what is it called? The passenger seat.
Okay, like the floorboard.
He would bring his guns everywhere.
Okay.
So it wasn't. I know, like, you might think might still be premeditated. He brought his guns everywhere.
Okay. Okay.
Especially after that incident, I heard.
Okay. And I'll be honest with you, man. Like, I want to make sure that you and I are on the same page here. I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm not here to judge you. Okay. I'm just trying to find out the facts, and more than anything, just get answers for this young man's family. And so I appreciate that. But just know that there's nothing here that anybody on this side of the table is judging you for. We just appreciate you doing the right thing and sharing this information with us. Okay.
Right.
I can't. It haunts me at night.
I can only imagine. I'll be honest with you, it does me too a little bit. This is a really, really difficult case.
Should have never happened.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You never went to the police after that. You never said, hey, police, I know the dude that does this. Ouch, hold on. You never said, hey, police, this is the dude who did that. And I was riding in the car. Do you get brownie points for saying? Do you get brownie points for for any of that? Or are you still going to be charged with murder? That would be my question. I get charged for murder even though I turn a person in? The person that needs to be turned in, I turn them in. Do I get any brownie points for that?
I really feel like if I was sober, then I wouldn't have done what he said. I go back to Albuquerque. When I came back to Albuquerque, what did I do? I barely left my house. When I got back, I took him home right away or whatever. We had been talking for hours and hours. He was prepping me for in case I was ever in this type of situation over this.
Right.
Basically, he was telling me that I would go to prison for life. He would go to prison for life. Like, where if anything happens, you're in the same boat as me pretty much, until I told my lawyer about this and she said, no, that's not the case, you know, like, it's going to be all right. And that won't happen. So my amazing lawyer brought me here today to do this. I didn't do it before, and I'll get into that. I didn't do this. I wanted to testify, but I couldn't because he showed up to my house whenever I was in jail. He never knew where I lived. I don't know how he found where I lived, but he showed up to my house when I was in jail. When I was in jail the first time or whatever. He showed up to my house when I was in jail the first time, and he talked to Sasha and her mom or whatever. And so being in jail, I was like, how the does he know where I live? Like, and he was like, I guess when he talked to them, he told them that like he was gonna put money on my books, he was gonna pay for my lawyer, he was gonna do this, he was gonna do that, all this stuff. I knew that was his way of like don't tell on me, I know where you live, like type of thing.
Yeah, of course it was. That's why. And we understand you're in the middle of it. You're in the middle of it and you can't do anything but agree to whatever goes on. And we get all of that. Just
so I didn't, and I wanted to, because it was very tempting, but I didn't want my family to get hurt or my girlfriend, so I didn't. And when I got out, he showed up to my house a week later, and it was kind of the same deal. And I just kind of assured him that, like, you know, I'm gonna beat this case. Like, you have nothing to worry about, whatever. And also when he was there, he told me, like, if a cop comes to my house or something, he said, I'm gonna go out in a shootout. I'm not going down for this. He told me that he's not gonna go down for this. Basically, like telling me I have to go down for it because I'm the one who's posted the car on Facebook, even though he said it was a good idea to do it.
Okay. Has he made any direct threats towards you or Sasha or your family?
No, that was his. That's why they let him in. Like, they wouldn't let him in if he like came over there all like hot-headed or whatever. No, he came over there acting like he was my best friend and all this stuff. But no, he didn't make a direct threat.
We see you don't have to make a direct threat. Everybody can imply. It can be implied, and he probably implied a threat. Yeah.
You said he told you it was a good idea to post that car on Facebook?
Yeah, he did.
Tell me about that.
Well, because I was getting desperate to and I was very I was getting very worried and like paranoid and stuff. And he told me that would be a good idea to just sell it on Facebook Marketplace.
Right.
I didn't think so, but I was desperate, and I didn't want the car anymore. I didn't enjoy the car more anymore. After that, I couldn't.
Michael told the detectives when he was driving, he didn't see who was in the car when Thomas allegedly started firing off into the other car.
And I just went along with it. I felt like I had no choice to.
Okay. Walk me through following that car. You said you followed it for a little bit.
Yeah.
Describe that for me.
I don't really remember. I followed it for a few minutes.
Okay.
Right.
What did you notice about that car as far as people inside it?
No, it was heavily tinted.
It was heavily tinted.
Yeah, and that's another thing. He whenever like we're on the road trip to Colorado or whatever, he told me that that the reason he started shooting was because he saw a gun. He's full of I didn't see a gun at all. That car was really tinted. How the hell are you gonna see a gun?
Okay. Were the windows rolled up or rolled down?
Rolled up.
All of them? Okay. So you didn't see anyone inside that car?
No. It's very tinted. I didn't see.
Okay. And then I know you said you saw the car, you said we're done with this.
Yeah.
And
That's
you
when I got mad back and I'm like, we're done with this. Like we're going home. And then and I get in the turning lane, I'm about to turn and he gets out as I'm like about to turn.
So which side of the car was the other car compared to yours?
Here's the car. Here's my car. Here's the stop sign, the red light. I stop barely. He jumps out as I'm stopping to turn or whatever, and he just starts shooting.
So you're going to turn right?
Yeah, I'm going to turn right, and they're like in the straight lane or left lane or something.
Okay, and so that means that the passenger side window of the other car is right next to your driver's side window, right?
Say that again.
So if we have two cars, so if this one's your car and this one's the other car, the passenger side window, and this is your driver's side window.
Yeah.
Okay, and so you're saying that when you passed by the car because of the tint, you couldn't see anything inside?
Yeah. So I didn't see anybody. I didn't see a gun pulled. None of that. I just seen a tinted car as soon as he started shooting, I panicked.
I had a question. So start shooting, but you said that he shot one went across your head and hit that. So
Yeah, he got out of the car. It wasn't.
so
He got out.
he was shooting through the car?
No, he got out of the car, and one of the bullets hit my car.
Oh, I'm shooting outside.
Yeah, from the passenger side. I was in line of fire when
You
he.
shoot over here.
Yeah, over, and he even started like walking around towards the hood.
Oh,
Okay, so was that car at a complete stop when it was at that light or that stop sign?
Yeah, I think
The one
so.
that you shot?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, and you were behind it, you pulled forward in the turning lane. You said you stopped. Were you in a complete stop?
No, I wasn't in a complete stop. I barely stopped just to look both ways to turn.
So would it be like a California roll? Where
Yeah,
you
like
just slow down
exactly.
a lot so you can look left, right, straight,
Yeah,
and then he gets out of the car at that point?
yeah. He gets out as soon as I like slow down right there.
Okay. And correct me if I'm wrong, he was in the front seat, right?
Yeah, the front passenger seat. Yeah.
And he gets fully out of the car, like full?
Yeah, he jumps out. Yeah, as it's moving a little
Okay.
with the gun in hand.
And then how many times did you shoot?
I'd have to say like 20 times.
Okay. Is it a fully automatic or?
That's wild, right? You get out at the stoplight, you get out at the light, and then your boy you stop at the light, and then your boy jumps out, and your boy start shooting. And he almost hits you, but he hits the other car. Another car that's right next to you. You surprised? Of course you're surprised. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what's happening.
No, I don't think so.
The pair seemingly knew detectives could come after them, so one packed up a bag to go into hiding, the other ditched the gun. But while Thomas allegedly encouraged Michael to ditch his phone too, they spoke to one another one last time.
Other than those messages, was there any other digital communication after this incident about what had happened?
After what had happened, he called my girlfriend's mom, and that's how. And he basically wanted to come over or whatever.
Okay.
And I think I even I even talked to him for like 20 seconds. I was like, yeah, come over, whatever. Yeah, that was it.
Okay. But no like text messages about you shot somebody. I can't believe you did that.
Nothing like that.
Okay.
No.
Did you guys discuss?
He was smarter than that. Yeah.
Okay.
He walked me through it, like not to ever talk about it ever again. So yeah.
Okay. Not to ever have any messages or emails or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
This young man seems to be just somebody who went along with his friend. He just went along with his friend. He didn't mean to do it. He just went along with his friend. This is wild.
like after like this came out like in the news, I'm sure you saw the news or someone told you
I
what
saw the
happened.
news. Yeah.
Did I don't know,
Right.
did he say, oh yeah,
That's when he
That's
came
the right
over to my house. After that, he found out I was released and he came over.
So what was the discussion? Because obviously the news published some information about the victim in this case.
Mhm.
What was the conversation between you? Because obviously it was not
The conversation.
6'1"
Yeah.
kid with an Edgar haircut.
See, and this would be the most important part of that whole interview, that whole interrogation. Is he going to admit, I wanted to go X, Y, and Z? Did he encourage him to go and say something? How did they get Mercy or AC in jail? The shooter, the actual shooter.
That he had talked to.
Yeah. He said, like I said, he seemed all up, and I assumed that that's because of that. He even told me I didn't know I killed that kid that night. And I was like, I tried to make him feel better or whatever. He was very you could tell he was losing it. And he told me also, I think after that's when he told me that he's not going down for this and he'll go out in a shootout. Told me that word for word.
Did he ever ask you if you spoke to police when you?
Yeah, he did. And I told him no, I pleaded the fifth.
How did he respond to that?
I don't remember.
was he in contact with you anyway since?
No, not since he went over there that one time. He stopped trying to, because I told him, I was like, don't come over here anymore. I told him in a nice way. I didn't want him to, I told him, no, you shouldn't come over here anymore. Is there anything you guys?
Why? So they won't connect him to you? That's why you told him that? See, that's the thing. What was his motivations after all of this? They're trying to figure out what his motivations are. Is he being calculated or is he being cunning like his friend? We know his friend is the one who murked the kid. But are you going along with the murking? Are you one of those people that go along with the crime and you're just going to keep quiet about it? This is what they're trying to figure out. Is he more calculated than he appeared? He appeared like, I don't know nothing. Did you really know or did you really not know? But the thing is, once it happened, what were your movements after the shooting?
Guys could do to protect my family while he's out there. He probably assumes that I'm telling on him and we'll go over there.
Is testifying something that you would be willing to do?
I will do anything you guys ask me to do. I just want a second chance at life, and I want to protect my family, and I don't want them to get hurt over this.
And that's helpful for me to know. Obviously, once I start plea negotiations with Ms. Williams, that's something that we'll discuss. And so I just wanted to make sure that was something that you were comfortable with. And obviously, taken into custody, we're always very careful.
See, the thing is, what do you charge the person for? What do you charge the person for if they're an accessory? What do you charge them for?
About what information that we're providing to him in that situation when we have that initial detention motion. Mm-hmm. Because in the event that the judge does not detain him, we don't want him getting out and knowing. But just so you are aware, there will be information that will be put in the arrest warrant affidavit. And so
that you will see.
if he is arrested, he will get a copy of that, and he has to by law. And so if he is released, that is something. And what I will do is I'll communicate with Miss Williams once he's taken into custody. When we have a detention hearing set, I'll make sure to let her know if he does not get detained. That way, she can let your loved ones know, just in the event that anything sets him off.
Okay. So so you'll give us like a heads up if somehow he gets released through Amy.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think for now, I mean, it's obviously we want to, work with you and do what you think is in the best interest of their safety, but maybe something along the lines of, hey, I know this guy's been there before. If he contacts you, if you see him, call 911 immediately.
Yes, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
It's very important that if you ever receive any kind of threats, if any of your family members ever communicate to you that anyone has threatened about anything related to this case, let Miss Williams know so that she can let us know, because that's not something that can be happening.
But see, you ought to know, son, that they're not on your side when it comes to this crime. They're not on your side. So they're telling you this, and it's looking innocent, like they believe you, but they don't believe you, son.
I think the flip side of this,
We will tell within the crime, we will tell within what they charge you with, whether they believe you or not.
is that he's expressed to me concerns about when he's taken into custody for himself in the jail.
Okay.
So what I will be doing, I'm going to reach out to MDC to let them know once we actually do apprehend him and get him into custody that they are kept in separate pods, that they can't have any contact. But like I said, the information, so to speak, about this interview is not going to be shared with anyone outside the interview, and there will be what's called a seal on the arrest warrant. So that means it's not going to be available to the public.
Right.
So nobody else will be able to see what you told us today and taken into custody. And so nobody else will know that you've provided any information until that happens. And so
I would like to actually have protective custody.
Thomas Acey wasn't arrested by the time Michael Flores had spoken with detectives during that December interview, but Thomas was arrested shortly after. Thomas, the alleged shooter, faced multiple charges, like first-degree murder, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, conspiracy to commit tampering with evidence, plus more. He pleaded not guilty to his charges, and he was supposed to go on trial next year. But in a shocking twist earlier this summer, he was found unresponsive in his jail cell. Officials say they administered life-saving measures, but he was pronounced dead. As for Michael Flores, initially he pleaded not guilty to murder, and he was supposed to go on trial in January of 2026. But online records reveal he pleaded guilty to conspiracy and evidence tampering back in February. He was supposed to testify against Thomas Acey. However, since he passed away, that won't be happening. So Michael will be sentenced in November, and he's facing up to 20 years in prison. Thanks so much for joining us here on.
That's the thing. The young man, right? He's an accessory. But he's talking about witness tampering and whatnot. What did he get? What did his what was his charges? Let's see. What was his
during that December interview, but Thomas was arrested shortly after. Thomas, the alleged shooter, faced multiple charges, like first-degree murder, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, conspiracy to commit tampering with evidence, plus more. He pleaded not guilty to his charges, and he was supposed to go on trial next year. But in a shocking twist earlier this summer, he was found unresponsive in his jail cell. Officials say they administered life-saving measures, but he was pronounced dead. As for Michael Flores, initially he pleaded not guilty to murder, and he was supposed to go on trial in January of 2026. But online records reveal he pleaded guilty to conspiracy and evidence tampering back in February. He was supposed to testify against Thomas Acey. However, since he passed away, that won't be happening.
That's right.
So Michael will be sentenced in November.
Okay. So he pleaded guilty to tampering with evidence and conspiracy. So what are the sentences? Okay, what are the sentencing? with that. Okay, so we don't know what he's gonna do. Maybe it's his first time getting the charges. Maybe it's not. Okay, he was tampering. He got charged with tampering with the evidence. Okay, that's destroying, hiding, altering the physical aspects of fabricating evidence to the crime. Okay, that was because he was in a car. He owned the car in which they did the crime. He owned the car in which they rode to the crime scene. Okay, and it's a felony. Okay, he can get 5 to 10 years depending on what's going on. Misdemeanor tampering up to a year in jail, maybe up to a year in jail, and he's been in jail all this time, I guess. Conspiracy is a whole nother thing. You can get 5 years to life, but the person that actually did the crime died inside the cell. They haven't said why he died inside the cell. Maybe he just died because he was doing drugs. He was whatever. He was a person who did all of those kind of things. So maybe they never said in this interview, they never said what happened to the young man. So this young man has an opportunity if they don't throw the book at him, but they might throw the book at him because if somebody died, but he wasn't the actual shooter. He might have a chance to get out in a couple years. Who knows? He never had an opportunity to touch the gun. This other guy always had the gun. See, there's many, many reasons why people get involved with crimes. A lot of people get involved with crime because they are afraid of the person who committed the crime. I'm a friend of yours and you crazy. I know you crazy. So since I know you crazy and you commit a crime, 9 times out of 10, I don't want to deal with your craziness, right? But I was there when you did the crime. I was there when you committed the act. So therefore, you want to be their friend and you be quiet. And a lot of people want to get along with people. They want to get along with the person that they're with. And they know that person is dangerous. And this is what happened to him. I'm driving, riding along. All of a sudden, he jump out the car and he shoots somebody. Okay. The reason why I can tell from his charges, they didn't continue to charge him with murder, right? They didn't continue to charge the young man with murder or anything related to the murder. They charged him with conspiracy. And they charged him with tampering with evidence and conspiracy. And they probably gave him a lesser of the charges or went halfway, 2.5, 3 years. And he probably only got that. But then if you do county time, then you do state time, is time served, half the time or whatever, depending. In Illinois, it used to be that way. So the young man has an opportunity to get out and have a life after this. And he's not going to be charged with murder, so they didn't think it was that serious to charge him with murder because they believed his story. Remember I said they're going to have to look at his story and see if they believe him? Apparently they believed that he wasn't the shooter. Because this person probably had the shooter probably had other opportunities to commit crime and they knew he was capable of doing it, and this young man wasn't capable of doing those things. I mean, it depends on how they feel your testimony went, what they believe happened. Do they believe this is what happened? Your story goes along right with their story. He was the getaway driver. He didn't know he was going to be the getaway driver until after he was the getaway driver. But see, that just goes to show you, you need to watch out what kind of goddamn friends you got. You need to watch out for your friends. Because your friends don't mean you no good when they pull out guns in the middle of the night, start randomly shooting folks. People die because of that. You can't be involved with people who do that shit. Stay tuned all week. We're doing the crime series until we start the actual investigation and crime series. Until we start that, which is going to be specific towards women and crime and the channel update and all the other things that are updating. We're doing that as we speak. But for now, currently, this is the Wives and Murder channel. And we would be appreciative if you sign up for the channel, subscribe, do all of those things, because we're going to be bringing you content, and mostly it's going to be pre-recorded videos of analysis and maybe one live a week. So please stay tuned for more content here at the Wives and Murder channel. I appreciate it.